This is Lady Myya. Hello, you guys. We are back with another podcast. Because I'm like, we've had a couple of stumbling blocks that we had to get over to get to this point. So just know, the struggle is real. Yeah. So I am up here with Kat. She is an amazing individual. She has been so patient with me, and it's been like, okay, we got this time. And so yes. So my Mayan tribe, let's get to know Miss Kat. So welcome, Miss Kat.
Thank you, Lady Myya. I'm so glad to be here. And by the way, you guys, she also is very patient. She's a wonderful host. She really walked me through some of the technicalities that I was going through, so she rocks.
I appreciate you. Look, some people don't necessarily like the technology in that way, and I happen to be one of them, but I love helping people, and so I just can't help myself in that aspect.
Awesome. Love it.
So tell my Mayan tribe the name of your business, beloved.
The name of my business is Kat's Closet, and this is something I kind of recently started, like about last year, just an idea that I had because I would go to college, and when I was 6 years old, I remember my mother bringing up this Keebler's box type of, the little elf on the Keebler's box, and she would say, "You know what, baby?" She would call me baby, baby Conejo. It'd be really cool if you can bring this to show and tell. Like, actually, don't bring this. Why don't you draw what he looks like, the elf? And my mom just kind of looked at it like it was something trivial and smiled, and I was excited. I was like, hell yeah, I'll do this. So I drew it that day. I drew it really big, the Keebler's elf, and then I brought it to show and tell, and the teacher's like, I think her name was Mrs. Stevenson from first grade, and she's like, Kathleen, what do you want to show us? I'm like, oh yeah, this is mine. And all the kids were gawking, they were in shock. Their chins hit the floor. They were like, what? You did not draw that. You traced that. You didn't draw that. And I was like, no, what are you talking about? I was like, what does that even mean? I said. And they're like, oh yeah. And the teacher, guys, be nice. Kathleen brought a really great stuff. And I said, no, I drew this. And I said, my mother told me to draw Keeblers, and everyone's like, wow. And then I started having kids come up to me wanting me to draw their faces and everything. And that's kind of where it taken off, and they always bring it home to their mothers and be like, yeah, the six-year-old, my friend 6 years old drew this. So kind of I took a whole hiatus from drawing. I'd say like 16 years, and the talent never left me. So I carried it on to college, and I would go join some art classes for the hell of it and kind of just study the mediums and all the fun new techniques so I can understand everything and be able to have no limits. So I learned, researched, and just had fun with it. And my teacher was blown away. She's like, you gotta have to be my top artist. I need to put this out in the hallway for everyone to see. I need to take this to the museum so I can see. So then I went further. I was like, I want to do ceramics. I want to do paper mache. And that's kind of how it took off. So that's why I did name my business Kat Closet. And I had lots of orders for huge 18 by 24 portraits and pictures, and I would frame them. I would package them myself, and it was just a custom art piece that they would ask for. So I just kind of envision what it looked like and draw it on a white piece of paper and then paint it, which I was so new to painting too. It was just this year that I never painted for such a long time, and not so intricately like I do now. So I would paint, and then that just blew their minds too. So I kept getting the orders of like, I need to make this, I need to continue this business. And I have a shop. It's an Equids shop where from time to time I like to post my art and my CDs, my music CDs.
Nice.
Which I released. It's called No Past in the Future. I made some good sales with that. I put a couple of songs that had to do with my experiences and tough struggles and tribulations and the pains and the lows and the joys of life. And the very difficult things that people don't want to discuss, like death and all that other in between stuff.
Yeah, No, I understand. Wow, that is very interesting. I love the story. That story is amazing. Okay, okay. So, like, what have you been able to do in terms, like, have you like gotten workshops or anything that actually helps others to do, something similar to what you're doing?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Like I have some people, like, if they really want, I look at it like this, like they have to come to me if they really want something badly. I'm not going to throw my jewels out there. They have to kind of like ask me, like, look, I really want this help. And they have to show me that they're serious, because I've had a lot of people play around and act like they are serious, but then just to kind of turn around and betray me. So I'm like, no, that ain't it. You have to kind of go through a different test frame with them. So I said, you know what, look, you guys, you kind of have to come to me as you are, and we'll go from there. And it's no telling that they'll still betray you down the line. That's no guarantee. But for me, I feel like that was a more appropriate way to separate the serious people from the not so serious people. And through that, I'll start teaching them through the different levels that I feel is appropriate to what they want, what they have already as a foundation and groundwork, and then build it from there. I try to give them what their missing gaps are. So they'll ask me, like, look, I want to do some art, and I'll be like, yeah, well, art is what you make of it. True. Art is not, it doesn't have to look, some people think that art is just beautiful. It's something you look at, and yeah, it can be that, but art is also what you make it. It can be anything that you just, something you see in your mind, something you're passionate about, even just putting paint on your hands and putting it on a piece of paper and just leaving it there and taking it off, and the way that it comes out different every time. Art is never the same. And it's abstract. That's why people can ask for recreations, but it'll never be the same, but you can make it pretty damn near.
Yeah. It's not exact, but it's fair.
Yeah. Like anyone can learn anything they want to learn, but it depends. It's a passion that's probably going to keep them there long, because they can be learning it for a while, and then soon they'll wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm divorcing it, I'm done. I'm throwing in the towel. It's not for me. It's not something I believe in anymore. People change from night to day, like feelings that come and go, and I'm like, you really need to know it's something you want to permanently commit to, like a marriage, like a one-on-one matrimony, traditional type of get-down, monotonous type of relationship. Like, this is the thing you want to do for the rest of your life. You got to really look at it like that. You can't just see that you want something. You got to tell me right now, like, is it something you want forever?
Right.
Or everlasting, if you're dead and your soul transcends to the next time. Do you still want this?
Right. And because, like, okay, I look at it that way, girl, why you get on this subject? Okay, anyway. I feel like, at the same time, people don't realize when you get into a relationship, you've got that person's heart. And when you have that person's heart, you want to take care of that jewel, because they're giving you their best and their all. And when you don't do that, you basically curse yourself, because it's called karma, y'all. It's called
right. It's like you feel so connected. I feel like you curse yourself because you also have that huge connection to them, like that rope. So if you hurt them, you're getting hurt as a result.
See, and
so they're just that special little oyster that you find deep in.
Exactly. Yeah. You have to like really appreciate what you're getting from a person, especially when they give their heart like that. And for you to hurt them just does not make any sense. Like, what, hurt people, there's that. But at the same time, you have to do a reset with every person you meet. Meet them as if you've never been in a relationship before, and treat them as the treasure that they are. And
exactly.
From there. And that was like huge for me, girl. Like, I'm on husband number 3. So I'm just saying.
Good luck.
This one, he ain't going nowhere, because I told him to stalk him.
There are times of charm, lady mine. There are times of charm. That's how the reference goes.
That's what they say. But then you really get to the point where, like, you know what? I know what cues that I can deal with and what ones I can't. And now that I've gotten to this point, I understand. you know.
Thank you for teaching me 2 other husbands. Now I can treat this third one real good. He's gonna get the best now, cause
He's
now I know what.
he's going
Right?
because he's going to understand, okay, I went through this for this reason, I went through this for that reason, and I had to look at myself for a while to figure out what I wanted, you know. And I said, all right, God, you got to do something about this, because I just don't want to deal with the stupidity of this so-called man saying that, oh, you're not going to do nothing but what I tell you to do. We're not doing that. No.
Like, yeah, that we're not slaves. Come on, get out of here with that.
But they had that mentality because the people that raised them had that mentality. So now they're just taking that and going with that. And, oh, well, since you're not doing what I want you to do, then I'm going to get a divorce. Okay.
No, see, that's horrible. That's not love, and it's so like so conditioned. It's telling you, it's my way or the highway.
Exactly.
That might be good sometimes, but they need to look at it in a more broad spectrum. Like, hello, you're with another human being. What about them?
Respect that person.
Yeah.
You can probably kind of get away with it, depending on your wording. Come on now, depending on your wording. But don't be so extra. Like, no, let's not do that.
It makes you like almost hate them. Like, you have to kind of hold yourself back. Like, oh my God, like, damn, they didn't even start.
To be with them, but love the go. It's just like,
right.
Hey, no,
I always look at it like this. Like, I heard what you were saying. You said something like, treat others like they like to be treated. I really listened to that, and then I thought about it again, and I said, well, love someone the way they want to be loved. Like, you got to almost ask them, because it's something you're learning about them.
But they
treat them the
don't
way you
know
want to be treated.
Which is
but they can learn, though. You can kind of just observe them, watch them a little bit, and be like, wait, but you love this a lot. You like when I kiss you on your cheek every morning. You like when I bring in some Folger coffees. That's the French roast, but not this roast. And you like when I touch your chest a little bit. You like when I stroke the hair chest. Yeah, so you got to pick up on those little things, and the little things, really gets to them.
Look, my husband know how to get to me. He will buy me a cherry Dr. Pepper, because I don't really drink soda. But he'll that cherry Dr. Pepper. I'll be like, hey, what's up, soldier? What you doing over there?
Right, like, you know what you're doing.
The little things that he takes into account, because he knows, like, okay, she's stressing, she's just trying to get business done, but at the same time, I know what'll help. And that little thing, because you thought about me, goes a long way. Does.
I love that. It reminds me of when my sister, she went to California to visit for a while, and then she came back with this really pretty yellow tulip, and she said, she plucked it out, and she doesn't usually do that. And she gave it to me, and she said, when I see a flower, I like to give them to someone close to me, just so they can know I'm thinking of them. And I thought about that long and hard, and I said, oh my God, those little efforts. Like, if she didn't give me the flower, I would just assume she's thinking about me. But hearing it is a whole different ballpark.
Seeing it.
The physical thing. Yeah, and and then you go back home and thinking of that night. Like, that's really crazy. I don't get that too often. So I feel like it's so important to really make that extra trying effort, to always renew each other's relationships.
I think if you have that person that really understands that the smaller things is going to count more than the big things, then they okay, they have that in their mind, and they can go on the smaller things as opposed to the big things. Not to say the big things aren't going to happen, but to say that, when they're stressed or, they're dealing with something, because we're going to do the same for them. So they're going to do the same for us in return. So, yeah.
If they don't, I'm going to hit them on the head and remind them.
You don't remember?
Yeah, you better do what I want. Oh my God, I'm not promoting violence here, you guys.
You don't remember? No.
Just a love tap. Just a love tap.
You gotta have something. But I love that. I love that about you. Look, you went from one thing to the next. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I do a lot of that. I'm all over the place, but that's the mind of an artist.
Me too. I can't help myself. So I'm like here, there, and everywhere. Trust me, I'm thinking about everything I got to do after this. I'm like, not to say that I'm not engaged, because I'm definitely engaged. It's just when you know that there's a list. You look at that list like, I'm gonna try to get through like 4 or 5 things.
You're definitely gonna get down that list. You'll knock all the to-do list down.
I'm trying. That's the goal. Definitely. You know what, Kat? I need you on a few of my shows, dear heart, because I love this conversation. I love your energy. It's just amazing. Okay, so tell me exactly, what are you getting from the people that you're engaging with your business?
I get that energy, got that love, I get that moolah. I get a lot of things, but I think that it's rewarding to see that they're so happy about receiving their art piece, and then they send their photos to me and show me like, look how you changed my life. You changed my life with your advice. You changed my life with your music. You changed my life with this art piece. I hang it out now in my living room next to the other collection, the rest of my repertoire of my art. And I look at it and it's just a wonderful thing, and it encourages them to want to support more artists. And I like them. Like, you support me, go get that one too. Take care of my brothers and sisters.
Exactly. You know what? I think when you have that camaraderie, when you have that community situation, of course you're going to look out for everybody else because they're looking out for you. I think
it's a tough thing. Yeah, it's a tough thing for artists because not everyone get the credit that they need. People overlook it. Look like it's art, but no, it's their soul, it's their heart put into that piece. It's their time that they're never going to get back again. They put that time in for that particular person for the request, and they did it very passionately and loving. And love's a very special thing. But they always say, when you give love comes back to you tenfold. So I always look at love as you can never give too much, and you'll never run out of it. Yeah.
When it's coming back, woo! I love it.
Yes, but it's just amazing just to give it. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. You just don't want to give it to the wrong people, but it's nice to give it during your projects. It feels nice and it keeps you going, keeps you strong. It keeps that strength in you to have that energy.
Mm-hmm. It does, because it's just like sometimes you sit there and you're like, you're so zoned out, especially with art and different things, especially when you're creating. When you're creating, you're like, I'm so in tune. I'm not even thinking about everything around, outside of this. So now I'm focused. I'm giving all my love, my attention, my soul, my heart, everything. Everything is going into this. And so you would only want those people. Your art is just like you and your man. Okay?
It's just like that, definitely.
You gotta appreciate you and take care of you and take care of your art. Take care of your heart and your art. Let's do it.
Right. And how much time you put into the art determines just how great or how not great that piece can be.
So true. Oh, wow, Leah, because if you just put some stuff up there, you'd be like, did I really do that? Okay, no.
Yeah, you just gotta
get another canvas.
Or you can just kind of go over it, but you gotta always take that double look and step back and say, is this gonna does this satisfy me? Right. Does this satisfy my eyes? Am I gonna put this up that this represents me? So is this satisfying? Right. I'm not gonna send crap out there. I want to send beauty. I want to send I want to send me.
Yes, and I'm with you 1,000%, girl. I'm telling you, I try to do the same with all my shows and different things like that. And I think, sometimes I kind of wear myself thin, but at the same time, I love when I can get responses. It's just like, oh yes, okay, yeah, I'm gonna put out some more. Let's go.
I love it. I love the hustle.
I love it.
Wonderful hustle.
I love it. And I was one of those kids that's just like, you couldn't have that type of attention, because where I grew up, it was just like, no, you're not supposed to, be that type of person in the limelight. And I'm like,
you're like, oh yeah, you want to see, and you break the rules, right?
I had to.
It feels so good.
this is so boring. I don't want to do this, but I wanted to
It
be
was
a
coming.
kid.
Yeah, it was coming. Like the explosion, the
Yeah.
climatic part of your life was like, Myya needs to explode. She needs to grow. Give me the beep out of here.
I was just like, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. And then, like, my dad was the same way because he couldn't sit still either. So I was just like, I got it honestly.
He sounds like me. I think I have ADHD, so I can't sit for still for long.
You and me both.
Imagine that, me doing art or music and just sitting there moving one leg like a bunny rabbit. Like that's me.
Yes, girl.
And it could be so annoying to everyone. Like, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong. It's just I gotta move.
I want to. Like, I mean, do you see what people don't do when they move? Like they can't do anything. You know, they cracking as soon as they move one way, and this is aching and all that, and they go to bed and break everything. Like, no.
Oh man, we're like therapy time.
It is, isn't it? Like, it's like therapy. Like, anytime I'm like, you know, editing or putting things together, and that's my art right there. Like, I'm putting it all together, making it look cute, making it sound good, and just like, here y'all go.
Here you go, you guys, and you put a little nice, cute little bow on it, cherry on top, like the kind your husband likes to give on your sodas.
Right. Look, give me my soda. Let me have it.
Husband, please bring my soda.
Exactly. And I try to drink I don't do soda very often, so it's like maybe once a year or something, like when I'm like really, really bad. Like I just can't.
Just to spoil yourself.
Honey, I'm like coffee and water, coffee and water, coffee and water.
Same. I love coffee and water.
Oh, if you saw how big my cup is.
It's about, I'm going to guess 16 to 24 ounces.
Oh, lucky for you, I'm like on 32 and...
Like, well, okay, so it's a little more than I... Yes, that's impressive. I think just what you have
the
there...
mug is that big, yes.
Right, just what you have there, Myya, is accumulation of probably what I have within a couple of servings. I spread mines throughout the day. I used to do that when I was going to high school. I'd take this huge mug, and it'll piss my teachers off so much, but it'll be the size like you have in right now.
Okay.
This really big cup, and I'll just chuck that down black. Everyone would think it's gross when they go to try it, but I loved it.
Okay, I was like that too.
I mean, like, come on. It's hard to resist.
You needed that thing too.
Oh man, it's so hard to resist.
It was so funny because me and my professor, we would race over to the coffee shop. It was like a little 7-Eleven right next to us, and so if I got there first, I would buy, and if he got there first, he would buy, and so we both had to have a certain thing with our coffee. With him, he had his coffee and a Snickers, but with me, I would have my coffee and a Twix. We got to the point, let me tell you, this is so funny. We would take our chocolate bar, and instead of putting cream and sugar in it, we would mix it with the chocolate bar.
And delight, chocolate delight.
It was the best. The best coffee ever.
Like, I gotta try that sometimes. Okay, on my way to the grocery store to get a Twix. I gotta try that. That sounds wonderful.
It was because the Twix with the caramel and the girl.
Like,
about it like,
whoa, it's sounding so seductive right now.
It was, but I think that was only because, like, at the time I was in school, and with my professor, he was just as like crazy as I was, so that's why we always looked like that. So it was fun.
Like, you're like, yeah, look at this. He's like, you know what? And he pulls out his Twix. He's like, same here.
I know, right? I'll break you.
He's like, I claim this one. This is my girl right here.
But it was awesome. But yes, life is like that. You know, you guys understand that, you know, the talent, the things that go into it, the art. Life is art. Art is life. right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so is music. Like music triggers huge influential parts of every part of your brain. The linguistic side, the art side, is the frontal cerebellum of your vision part. It just targets every part of
Mm.
music. So I'm all doing all of that at the same time. Like I'm already coming out with my second CD. I'm yet to come up with the name though. But the first one, I good reviews. The second one's gonna be even better because I hired a band
Mm.
and fired my last one because they weren't showing up on time, so I felt like
Oh
that
no.
wasn't fair to the audience because they had come out of their way to view that, and we need people that want to show up and, like, again, be there. They need to be there.
Oh wow, honey, I'm so sorry to hear that. She said I gotta get rid of y'all. Y'all not
It was
doing it.
difficult, like, with bands, it can be like a high turnover rate. They can
Yeah.
stay. Like I still have one guy that's really good here. He's a bass player. He's still staying. He's stuck it in through there. He's been there for a year, and now we're gonna do shows soon locally.
Yes. All right. I need some. I need some music, Kat. Come on now. Give us
Yeah.
some music. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that. Definitely. Tell me
I got it
how.
coming.
Yes. Yes. Tell me. Tell me how was that? Like how did you come across doing music? Now is that something that's always been there or what?
Yeah, I tried a little bit when I was younger, yeah, for sure. When I was 13, I'd be like a repercussionist. I'd be around the boys. I'd do the drumming, and the boys would always be rude, throw things at me, call me names, really bad names. I won't be mentioning on the show. But I stuck in through there, stand my ground, and fought back. I had to punch a few and throw some in the lockers, but I said, you can't mess with us because I'll knock you guys out. So
Oh,
the message kind of circulated around the boys, so they kind of gave me respect after that.
yes.
And I was allowed to do my thing and pursue drumming, and then made my way to guitar and piano. So yeah, I had a little bit of background with that, but I would never had formal training. I would go attend some choirs to sing some classical music, which I love, by the way.
Mm,
Classical music is so amazing. It can put you to sleep, but it also really touches you deep, which I like. Something that the now time music is kind of lacking, but I like how deep it touches you. It feels very spiritual,
true.
the classical music. So I'm like, damn.
That is amazing though. Like I guess I don't really listen to classical as much. But I know it's very soothing to the soul. So I
It's
do.
great. I never get tired of it. I can click it on repeat and just love it. Love
Yeah.
every moment of it. First
Woohoo!
of all, I kind of looked at it like, okay, I don't know if I'm gonna like this because I love to only listen to heavy metal. Sometimes I love R&B, I love jazz, I love all of that.
Right.
But when I listen to classic music, I'm like, hey, I can go into my favorites. So add and drop. It's
I
absolutely
understand.
mind blowing.
That's cool. You know what? I love it. I love it. Okay, so will you tell my Mayan tribe how they can actually reach you, dear heart?
Absolutely. You can reach me on Instagram, Rockstarkatz, or Twitter, Punk Rock Cats. It's like, it's spelled the way it is, except Cats is with a Z at the end instead of K-A-T. It's K-A-T-Z at the end of Punk Rock Cats, and all together, no spaces. You can also reach me on my YouTube at Vampy Erotica, which is spelled VampyErotica. And I have one more YouTube channel, an alternate YouTube channel that actually has some of my music distribution on there, and it's called Punk Rock Cats, the same as my Twitter you guys can find, so you guys can find me there.
Nice. All right. Yes. And if you have any words for my Mayan tribe, dear, the floor is yours.
Absolutely, you guys, just keep your heads high and go for what you want. Be passionate. If it's not something you like, leave your job if you have to, but find something you really, really like. And I know everyone has their families to support and stuff, so that's understandable, but do make time for you and make time for what you want to, so you can go that much harder and really, really enjoy what you're doing. So that means whether it makes money or not, some part of you will be happy, be like what you really wanted.
Yes, I appreciate that. I appreciate that greatly. Well, Mayan tribe, it is about that time, dear. Okay, so I want you guys, if you have any questions for her, please use her contacts. They will also be in the description. Thank you for sharing, and subscribing to everything that I have going on, whether it be the podcast or the TV show, radio show. And so if you would like to be on the show, you can always hit me up at admin@ladymyya.com, and that's MYYA. And you know why? Because your homegirl is special. I will talk to you guys later.